Standing water never curves. Standing water never curves. Standing water never curves.
It's an easy thing to do today to paint with a broad brush and to disparage particularly creationists and other people who believe in the Bible as being so ignorant that they believed in a flat earth, and it conjures up the whole history that people feel they know about Columbus and sticks us at least 500 years behind modern times, instantly, in one sentence.
Because I think it's important. The kids are the future, and you can red pill them in 2 seconds.
Standing water never curves.
And it really started after the so-called Enlightenment of the 18th century. That started in France, and this sort of movement made atheism and agnosticism respectable. It even caused skepticism. People began to attack religion in general and Christianity in particular. And these began to come to fruition in the early 19th century.
Standing water never curves. And the face of the moon never changes.
By the time you get to the late 19th century, there were two men particularly that play a role in this. One was John William Draper, and the other one was Andrew Dixon White. And through a number of essays and special speeches they gave, and then each of them wrote a book on this long warfare, supposedly between religion and science, scientific advancement particularly. And this gave rise to a whole idea called the conflict thesis. And the idea was that religion had continually inserted itself and held back and hindered progress in scientific development.
Standing water never curves. Standing water never curves. Standing water never curves. And the Polaris star is always in the same spot.
Well, it turns out historians have known for about 100 years. Writing started in the early 1900s about the flat earth myth, and it was generally understood that this was a historical falsehood. Perhaps the greatest scholar on Columbus in the last 100 years, Samuel Eliot Morison, was aware of the flat earth myth perpetuated by Washington Irving and basically called it nonsense.
And so they used as one of their major exhibits this whole thing about Columbus. And in the 19th century, they created this entire myth that Columbus had to fight against religious bigots and figures of darkness. They described that the sailors aboard a ship were on the point of mutiny because they thought they were going to reach the end of the world, and of course that's nonsense.
Standing water never curves.
They thought they were going to reach the end of the world, and of course that's nonsense.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for their daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere.
Basically called it nonsense.
Their tears are filling up their glasses, no expression, no expression.
They're going to reach the end of the world, and of course that's nonsense.
Hide my head, I want to drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow.
And you can red pill them in 2 seconds.
I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had.
Standing water never curves.
White and Draper attempted to cow and intimidate the church into accepting evolution. And they made up this story and many others about the conflict of science. And basically the deal they offered the church was this: you folks really got it wrong with Columbus and the shape of the earth. You got egg all over your faces. So here's your chance to get it. Here's your chance to get it right by getting in on the ground floor of Darwinian evolution. And unfortunately, it worked. It was a lie, and it worked nevertheless so successfully that many Christians today repeat this error, this lie, without even knowing that it is a lie and not knowing the history of the lie. So I find this whole thing very offensive.